Timotab, and today I'm going to solve Volvox by rockratzero. If you would like to try this puzzle for yourself, it'll be the first link in the description. Let's have a look at the rules. Okay, normal sudoku rules apply. So we're going to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every box. Thermometers. Digits on a thermometer increase from the bulb. So if this were a 2, this could be a 3, this could be a 6, this could be a 7. As long as they increase from the bulb end, that would be perfectly valid. XV pairs. Digits in cells separated by an X sum to 10. So if this were a 1, this would have to be a 9. Digits separated by a V sum to 5. So if that were a 1, this would have to be a 4. Okay. With that, I am going to restart the puzzle to reset the timer, and let's begin. All right, so some things to think about. Digits on a V have to be from the 1, 2, 3, 4 set. They have to be low, below 5. Digits on an X take 1 digit from below 5 and 1 digit from above 5. If I'm able to colour or determine that a digit on a thermometer is low or high, then if I determine that a digit is low, then any digits before it on the thermometer, so closer to the bulb, must also be low. If I determine a digit on a thermometer is high, then any digit after it, towards the tip, must also be high. So I am going to colour, and my low digits are going to be blue, because blue is kind of a chilly colour. And then my high digits will be orange. And the question is, oh, I've missed a 5 there. That's blue. My question is, do I include 5 in one of the sets, or do I make it its own colour? Well, first of all, I can make those blue because of what I just said. If this is a low digit, this also has to be a low digit. Likewise, this one. Okay, I've got a low digit there. That's 1 low, 1 high. So I am going to make orange to be 5 and up because I don't think there's any particular advantage to giving 5 a separate colour, and there's a significant disadvantage because I don't know which of those could be a 5. But I do know they're all greater than 4. So that's going to simplify things, I think. That's one of each, so I know that there's a low digit there. That would be the 4th digit in the row, and that's why I've coloured the rest orange. Okay, if this were a low digit, then those two would have to be low, and that would give me 5 low digits in the row. So that has to be a high digit. I've got 4 digits that are low in the row, so those are high. This is high, so this is high. Okay, I don't see anything obvious, so I'm going to put my 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s in my low digits. All right. This is at least a 3 because it's the 3rd digit on a thermometer. And now that can't be a 1 because it's the 2nd digit, but it can't be a 4 because this, then I have no fill there. And that gives me a 2 or a 3 on a V, which has to go with a 2 or a 3 on the other side of the V. That gives me a 2-3 pair. That makes this 4. That makes this 1. This can't be 1 or 4. It now has to be less than this. So that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 2. And this is more than 4, so is a high digit. We can probably do something similar over here. Yes. So this can't be a 1 or a 2. This can't can't be a 1 or a 4. That gives me a 2-3 pair. That makes this a 1. This 2, in fact, makes this a 3, and that's a 2. That's now a 4, and that's a 1. Nice bit of symmetry there. And now this is a 1-4 pair. Okay, in this X, it must be a 3-7. That's the only missing low digit. That removes 2-3 from here. That makes that a 1-4 pair. Means that that has to be a 2. That's the only place for 2 in the row. That's used all of the low digits in the box, so those are high digits. 1 and 4 go into these 3 cells by sudoku from the 1 and the 4 here, the 4, 1 here, but neither of them can go there. So that is 1 and 4. Three has to go into one of these two by sudoku. That means that that can't be a 4. So that's a 1, that's a 4. And this can't be a 3 because that would have to be a 2. So this is the 3. And now these are high digits by the box count. That sees 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that is high. These two see 1, 2, 3, and 4, so they are high digits. That's where the 4 goes in the box. This must be a low digit. There we go. And is a 2 or a 4. This sees 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the column, so that is a high digit. Therefore, this is a low digit. And the only low digit it can be is a 3, placing a 7 here. That's a high digit because it's more than 4. Three high, 7 high. If that's 3, that's 2, that's 1, but it can't be a 1. So that's a 7, making it high. That's the 3 that is low. This can't be 1 or 4 because I've got a 1-4 pair in the column. And it can't be a 3. So if it's low, it's a 2, but if that's a 2, that's a 1, which it can't be. So that is a high digit. Let's mark that correctly. This is now a low digit. This is a high digit, which is less than 7. And it can't be a 5 because I can't put a 5 on an X, so that is a 6. That makes that 4. That makes that 2. That makes that 8. I've only got 2 more low digits available in the row. So that is a 1, 3 pair, but actually that 4 is going to make that 1. That makes that 3. That makes that 1. That's 4. So 2 is in one of those two. Three is in one of those two. 1. By sudoku goes in one of those three. It can't be this one because of this one. It can't be that one because that would have to be less than 1, which it can't be. So that's a 1. That means I can put a maximum of 2 low digits on this thermometer. So that is now high. And in fact, if I put that as a low digit, what would it be? It would have to be 4. That would have to be 2, but it can't be because of that 2. So that's a high digit. This 4 and 1 are resolved down here. And now 1 by sudoku goes here. And 4 by sudoku goes here. That means that these are high digits. Okay, one of those is a 2 to complete the column. That makes those high digits. One of these is a 2 by sudoku, but if that were a 2, this would have to be a 1. So this is a 2, that's an 8, making that 9. Right, neither of those can be a 4 because of the 4s in their columns. Can't be 1 and 2, that has to be a 3-7 pair. But this sees 1, 3, 4, and 2. So that is not a low digit. That must be a high digit. That makes this a 7. There we go. That's a low 3. That makes this 5 or 6 because it's a high digit. 3 in this box must now go here. And 2 is in one of those two. In fact, this 6 makes this a 5. Four in this box goes here. This 2 means that that is not a 2, and that is. Those are all high digits. In fact, the column means those are high. Those are also high. That's not a 3, and this is. There we go. And these are high. Okay. This digit needs to be lower than a 6. And it sees 1, 3, and 4, so that is 2 or 5. I think I've got all my 1s, 3s, and 4s, and then X-wing on 2s. So, let's have a look. 7 by sudoku goes there. None of those are 7, so one of those is. That means that this is a 7. And now one of these two is a 7. Okay. That's not 7, that's not 7. This is a 7 in this box. Let's get that the right color. That means that this is the only place left for the 2. That means that that is high, that is a low 2. All my colouring is done. That's 8 or 9. This is 8 or 9 by being larger than a 7. So that's a 5-6 pair there. This is 5 or 6 for the row. That is 5 or 9. In fact, it's not a 9, that's a 5. That makes this a 6. It puts 5 in there with the 7. 7 is not in either of those, so it's there, resolving the 5 and the 7. This is a 6, sorry, this is an 8 and a 9. That 6 is looking over here at the 5 and 6, resolving them. Okay. 9 is not there because of this 9, so that's a 9. That makes that 8 and that 9. This must now be a 5, making that 8. 8 must now go here, making that 6 and that 9. That sees 5, 7, 8 in the row and 9 in the column, so that's a 6. That's a 9. That means that this can't be a 9, this can't be a 9 by thermometer, that can't be a 9 by thermometer, so that must be a 9, resolving this 8 and 9 here. That's 5 and 8. That means that this is more than 5, at least that's 7 or 9. That is 7 or 9 by the row, but it's not a 7. So that's a 9, that's a 7. That makes this the 5 and get an 8 there. We get a 6 here. That's not a 7. We need a 5 and a 6 to complete the box. So 6 there and 5 there. We need a 6 and an 8 to complete this box, and we get a 6 and an 8. We need a 5 and a 9 to complete this box and row, and that's 9, that's the 9, that's the 5. And then we need 5, 6 and 8, so that's 6. That's 8, and that's 5. And that was a beautiful puzzle. I think my colouring strategy was a good approach. And I got almost all of the low digits first, and then it made spotting the high digits a little easier. Anyway, that was a wonderful puzzle. Thank you very much to rockratzero for setting it. If you like this solve, then please hit the like button. You can subscribe to see some more, and I would love to hear your comments. I'm looking forward to next time. Be seeing you.